have no idea where my maps is actually taking me right now. Morning guys, welcome back to another video. So as promised last week, I'm back out at the Yorke Peninsula this weekend. There's actually a heat wave and a long weekend all jammed into one, so I'm probably going to be taking it a little bit slower, but all of the spots that I want to go tick off are pretty cruisy. So I got in late last night. I'm camping at a nice little free campsite along the beach, which is Worrelty Beach, I think it is. I'll make sure I tag the location. And right now I've come out to Moonta Beach, so this is my first stop off. Our next stop is Cape Elizabeth. However, I have no idea where my maps is actually taking me right now. It's like taking me on a bit of a four-wheel drive track. But the first way it took me was actually like an emergency entryway. So I turned around and then it's kind of routed me into this other track, which is kind of interesting. But look, we'll see where it takes me, and look, we'll end up there one way or another. I swear sometimes that I've got Google Maps set to like adventure mode or something, because it takes me the most random ways. I mean, that was a lot of fun coming out here. Mind you, I actually don't even know what is out at Cape Elizabeth. It was just on my list for some reason. So I was like, oh, why not? Let's go check it out. But it actually looks really beautiful. So I might actually need to air down here because it looks like it's taking me on the beach. But let me air down, maybe get the drone up first and see what we're looking at. All right, she is aired down. Let's go. So I'm thinking this will actually be a good spot to do a little bit of fishing. So I can see it's pretty low tide at the moment. So no luck fishing just yet, but I am going to try again this afternoon. But for now, I've come out to Balgowan, which is this beautiful spot, and it is pretty much like known for these red cliffs that you can see right behind me. But even better still, you can actually drive along the cliffs as well. So I'm going to throw the drone up. It is super, super windy, so I'm hoping I don't lose it. I feel like I've been so lucky up until now, but let's get to this. We'll go for a little drive along the cliffs, and then hopefully we can catch some squid for dinner tonight afterwards.
Now, I wanted to mention this campsite because this was absolutely amazing, and even for a long weekend there was still spaces available, and it's totally free, guys. So this is Royalty Beach, and although you can pay for council camping locally, I would highly recommend this spot. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful, so put it on your list.
Morning guys, so as always I've gotten up nice and early to come straight out to the Kangaroo Point lookout. There is this really cool rock pool that I'm going to be scrambling down to, so I'm pretty keen for that. But on the drive out here, I can't even recall where it was. I just stopped to get fuel and there was this beautiful little, like, I guess sanctuary that had emus in it, so that was definitely a little bit of a highlight. But either way, we've got a few things to tick off our list today, including the rock pool which I'm at now. There is a little beach that I want to get to, I can't even recall the name, and then I also want to get out to all of the pink salt lakes here in the Yorke Peninsula as well. So lots to cram in, but like I said, first things first, we are going for a swim. Now, there isn't a clear defined way to get down, but there is this really cool, I guess, pathway. It's just like this little sand trail that takes you right down to the base of this cliff. So I'm going to assume that this is the safest way down, but either way, I'm sure it's going to burn coming back up, but well and truly worth it for the nice swim at the bottom. Guys, whether we walk down or slide down, I'm not too fussy at this point, but this is actually quite funny. So if you watched my video from last week, you would have known that the rock pool I went out to out at Shell Beach was a pretty high low tide. So I was able to check, and this one is nice and low, so there's going to be no waves coming over, so I can swim as freely and as safely as I want to.
As it turns out, there are actually a few ways that you can get down to the rock pools, but if I could make any recommendation here is come down that sand trail, but then go back up through this track here. It is a little bit steeper, but I just feel like it would be a lot easier to walk back up than the sand trail.
Considering it's still so early in the morning, it is already so warm already, but I'm going to be heading over to Butler's Beach now, and then we'll do the Salt Lakes thereafter. Alright guys, again with my planning skills, it turns out you cannot just drive into Butler's Beach. You actually have to pay for a permit for the day, and it's $18, and then you get access to all of these like incredible rock pools, beaches, and all the likes. So I've just done that. I mean, I've come all the way out here. $18 isn't really much to go and see some incredible beaches. So let's get to this. And yeah, apparently there's also a spot called Treasure Cove. I think she said that really good snorkeling, but she said the swell was a little bit crazy yesterday. So either way, let's see what we can find, but I'm gonna head to Butler's Beach first. I'm sure that WA could give South Australia a bit of a run for its money, but there is no way in hell anyone can say that Queensland has got the best beaches, or New South Wales for that matter. SA beaches, they are just incredible, something else entirely. Like, if you haven't been to South Australia, seriously get here, because this water is insane.
When you gain access to Helix Drive, not only do you get access to Butler's Beach, but you also get 7 kilometers of private coastline, which I think is so worth the cost. But one thing I did forget to mention is that you can pay for a day pass, or if you were to camp here, that gives you access to this area as well. So highly recommend, just plan ahead, maybe camp in the area because there is so much to see. I'm sad to say that I only got to a couple of spots, but next on my list was Treasure Cove, and this is what the lady said that would be perfect for snorkeling. And on the occasion when I got here, there was actually a family, so I mentioned to them that I was snorkeling alone, you know, safety first, but this is such a beautiful spot. The water was absolutely stunning, so definitely put this on your list, especially if you just want to come and check out some of the beautiful wildlife.
guys, this is the very last spot on my list, which is the Salt Lakes here in the Yorke Peninsula. There is so many of them to see as well. Before I forget, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I'm going to make my way back to Adelaide now, but thank you guys so much for following along. I feel like the Yorke Peninsula has been so much fun, but I'm pretty excited to bring the next video to you guys, although I haven't fully decided what I'm going to see next, but there's still so much to see in SA, and I have a little bit of news coming in the coming weeks as well, so stay tuned for that as well. But until next time, see you guys then.